It's happening, fam. We've all been wondering, waiting with bated breath. I still don't really know what that means. What is the term bated breath? What does that even mean? Bated breath? Hold on. I use the term and I don't even know what it means. It's B-A-T-E-D. Why do we say? The phrase refers to people holding their breath in excitement or fear as they wait to see what happens. Oh, it's using a shortened form of abated, which means stopped or reduced. Oh. Abated breath is basically what it means. Ah, got it. So anyway, we've been waiting with abated breath to find out what is going to happen with Rocksteady. There's been reporting from like Jason Schreier. He did some articles, one in early June, where he described what was going on inside Rocksteady. Because of course, after Suicide Squad, morale was low. Let's just say that. And also, executives weren't super happy because Rocksteady's Suicide Squad represented a roughly $200 million loss for them, which already bad. It's made way worse because investors were coming off of the year prior. The year prior, like basically how a lot of finance stuff works is that investors will just compare last year to this year. So if 2023 was this blue line, gaming revenue started like really low. And then a certain game called Hogwarts Legacy came out and just skyrocketed the numbers. And then, revenue was pretty damn good. And then 2024 hits, okay? And we're coming off of the success of Hogwarts Legacy 2, and we're kind of, okay, the game sold really well, but we have a new release scheduled. We have Suicide Squad, and it falls off the chart. And so in comparison to last year, this is real bad. This feels way worse than maybe it actually is. Like in reality, you're just seeing a drop from like this level to here in terms of where you were, but it's because of the tremendous success of Hogwarts Legacy that it feels so much worse for investors, because they're like, well, we just saw what you're capable of when something pops off, but then, we got this monstrosity here with Suicide Squad, so it just feels really, really bad. And as a result, executives at Warner Brothers have been quite upset with Rocksteady. They've been trying to figure out what the hell to do. Jason Schreier reported that they were working to help Avalanche with a director's cut of Hogwarts Legacy because they wanted to utilize their talents. Because if you're not aware, Rocksteady develops in the Unreal Engine, whether you look at Batman Arkham Knight, even Arkham City, for example, and Suicide Squad are all built in the Unreal Engine. And so is Hogwarts Legacy. And so it seems as though they tapped Rocksteady to apply some of their workforce to helping prepare the director's cut re-release, whatever, of Hogwarts Legacy, which will have no doubt graphical enhancements, animation enhancements, stuff like that. And that's how they're going to utilize their talents. And it lines up with what we've seen elsewhere, which is that the team that's still working on Suicide Squad is like an actual skeleton crew. It seems like there's maybe, you could count on one hand the number of people working on it. They had to delay multiple things at the last minute by like a week or two. I think the launch of season 2 was delayed by a week because they found some bug that they couldn't fix in time. It's just been a disaster. And I mean, when you look at it, I'm shocked the number is this high, but it is. So there's still a 24-hour peak of 449. 2/3 of the Concord launch audience. Look at that. Wowza canowza. So not that big of a success. Let's just say that. However, there is reporting, according to leaker and rumor monger. That's funny. Special Nick. He understands that Rocksteady is in fact working on a new Batman game. I will also say this jives with what Jason Schreier reported back in early June, which is that Rocksteady leadership was working on a pitch for another single player game. They hadn't given it at that time that he was reporting, but they were preparing to pitch something to executives that was single player and that was going to kind of return to their roots. Well, actually, let me double check, because now I'm saying that I'm not sure if he said single player or if he was saying a new Batman superhero game. Yeah, okay. So many of the studio's employees are now helping to develop a new director's cut version of Hogwarts Legacy. At the same time, according to people familiar with the matter, the studio leaders are looking to pitch a new single player game, which would return Rocksteady to its roots. So not just a new Batman game, but a new single player specifically game. What are some of the details? Well, they say on top of that, he thinks Sony is trying to make them pay or make a play for exclusivity in some way. Quote, not sure which studio people's dreams is. Not sure what that means, but I heard Rocksteady are back making it. I'm not sure which studio people's dreams is. I don't know what he means. Asking for dream developers on the new Batman game. Oh, okay. So I guess saying Rocksteady's going to do it. I also think Sony are trying to money hat it. LOL. No other information about a new Batman game from Rocksteady would entail. The main question is whether it would be similar to the Batman games of the past single player game, or would they go live service route due to parent company Warner Brothers being determined to keep making them. Rocksteady hasn't worked on a true Batman game since 2015's Arkham Knight wrapped up the original trilogy. Since then, they worked on the mixed Arkham VR for PC and PS4 in 2016, and 2023's disappointing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I mean, am I crazy? Wasn't Suicide Squad in February? Is that just a typo? It was supposed to be last year, or am I actually like, has my brain melted? Yeah, January, I guess late January, but yeah, it was this year. Okay, I was like, did it actually break my brain? Like, did I just block out a year of my life because of this game? Like, I just had a little panic attack in that moment. It's important to keep in mind that Insider Gaming has yet to independently verify this information, nor has anything been officially confirmed by Warner Brothers Games or Rocksteady themselves. That said, if true, if they are working on a new Batman game, it's still likely years away from release, which is absolutely true. He said in a response, let's see the actual context. Name your dream game developer for the next Batman game, said the Game Awards. And then he said, not sure which studio people's dream studio would be for this, but I heard Rocksteady are back making it. I mean, if they pitched a new Batman game and they said, hey, we want to make it and we think fans will connect with it, I do think they would get the thumbs up, because they don't, like, Warner Brothers doesn't want to cancel or shut down Rocksteady. They still have a lot of talent, no doubt. It's just the writing for Suicide Squad and the direction for Suicide Squad was terrible, because they never done it before and they didn't know what the hell they were supposed to do. And that's very, very clear. It's the prime example of how you can have a really capable single player studio that tries to make a live service game and fail epically. But my concern is that in the last decade, a lot of people have left the studio and have moved on to do other stuff. And I'm not convinced that they will magically return, or that talent that made Arkham Knight, for example, really solid, or made Arkham City so amazing. I'm not convinced those people are still there. It seems, if anything, a lot of them have left and are not there. I'm not sure why I would just like, oh yeah, well, they'll figure it out, because it's not the same team anymore. And that's the dangerous thing, you know? You can't assume that after a decade or two, just because a studio back in the day made something you like, that they will necessarily be capable of doing that today. You know, it's the same fallacy. Like, I think Dragon Age the Veilguard, actually, after playing it, is pretty solid. I played 7 hours of it. I really like it. After hearing people say, well, I'm excited because they made Mass Effect, I think that's a bit of a fallacious leap, you know? You can be excited for the game, but thinking that it's going to be good because they made Mass Effect 2, for example, assumes that the people that made Mass Effect 2 are still there. And that's not necessarily true. A lot of the people that made those original Mass Effect games and the original Dragon Age games, they're gone. They left during like the Anthem era when they were doing live service stuff. So it's not like, that is a leap. That is a leap in logic, right? You could come to the right conclusion for the wrong reasons, or, you know, the wrong conclusion for wrong reasons. But in this case, I'm not, like, after seeing Suicide Squad, I'm not convinced that this team is capable of putting together the type of game I want anymore. Like, seeing that they thought that the scenes were like Boomerang is like actually pissing on a dead version of the Flash. And if you think I'm exaggerating that, I'm not. That is in the game. I would say Google it, but I think if you Google that, you might end up on a list or something. But seeing scenes like that play out, and there's many of them, that makes me very, very hesitant to be confident that they're going to magically be capable of doing something great here. So cautiously optimistic, but I would not assume that this is therefore going to be amazing. He took my thing. Red flag, red flag.